Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 3 a.m. Bag Escape podcast. This is episode number 6 coming at you. We unfortunately had to postpone the last one a little bit and had some personal matters to attend to, but we're back better than ever.
Tell them what the personal matter was.
Personal matter was I had a buddy coming into town from Detroit, and we
Mm-hmm.
went to the Panthers and Red Wings game on last Saturday evening. Sergei
Yeah.
Bobrovsky's first shutout of the year, a 22 save shutout, won 4-0, and it was a solid game to go to, unless you were a Red Wings fan.
Yeah, for you. He came all the way from Detroit. He comes down and watches his boys suck one up in Florida. But it's got to be cool to see. Has he ever been to that arena?
No, I don't think he's ever
That's
been to
awesome.
Florida besides like maybe a Disney World trip at some point.
Yeah, I love how casual. Maybe Disney World. Like
Yeah, I
for us
mean,
Northeast assholes, we never get a sniff at Disney World. I just might have went on a day trip to Disney World.
but
Damn it.
first thing he said to me when he got in our car picking him up from the airport, he's like, "It is hot." I was like,
Right?
"Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. That's nothing I can do about that." It was
Yeah,
like,
coming from Michigan, it's got to be
yeah, he was
just a
like,
shock
he was
to
like,
get off the
he was
plane.
like, it literally snowed today. They got like 6 inches of snow, and he got on the plane, came here, and it was like mid 80s with like 90% humidity.
Wow.
It was rough.
Yeah, that's why I'm all dialed up today. It's actually cold here. It's like 40 degrees right now and dropping.
Still got just a t-shirt, sweating in my room.
I miss those days already. No, I like
No,
this is like the perfect weather for me. I like the fall weather right before it's about to start snowing.
yeah,
I get to wear a hoodie. I get to put on a winter hat every now and then, and I have a nice little collection of Hartford Whalers hats and like an old Ottawa Senators hat, all the Tooks and stuff. Oh, I have so many good ones.
and you
So
get
I
that
get to
nice dry air too.
and absolutely nobody here knows what the fuck I'm wearing. So every now and then I'll get like, oh, Whalers. I'm like, okay, cool. They actually know what hockey is.
Poor Whalers, dude. Bring them back, damn it.
Why not?
Just don't put them
Connecticut
in Hartford
Whale.
because I don't know a
Yeah.
more irrelevant city than Hartford, Connecticut.
The Quebec Whalers.
I don't know. That
Dude, the
doesn't sound right.
Seattle could be the Whalers.
I would
Why
like
not?
that. Sure.
Seattle Whalers.
But like we said, episode 6, a couple days behind. But you know what? It is what it is.
Fuck it. We do it live.
Um,
Recorded.
Gonna get into our traditional beginning segment, I should say, and just go over some division standings, look at where teams are, how far some teams have come, how quickly some teams have fallen off,
Yeah.
and It's starting this time of year around like when you get into the end of November, beginning of December. It's where you can start to really see where teams are, where they're going to end up, and unless a team goes on a tear or just has a tremendous losing streak, typically the
Hmm.
standings stay about the same. I forget the percentage of like if you're not in a playoff spot by the All-Star break, like what percentage of those teams
Yeah.
eventually end up making the playoffs. And
Chances are, but with the parity in the league now, I feel like that's slowly going away.
yeah,
Obviously, you look at the Blues last year, but more and more teams seem to be finding their stride
yeah.
past November. Like they start, whether it be a coaching change, some guy comes back from injury.
You get
There's a bunch
the
of
yeah.
situations, but the fact that every night any team can win is
It's
it
exciting.
definitely yeah, it's great.
And so we're gonna start off with the Metro. We're gonna see not a lot of change, but of course Washington still your number one, sitting pretty at 11-2-3 with 25 points.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and that'll tell you that even when Washington loses, it's not in regulation very often. I mean,
Yes, and I think they
out of
have
15 games, they lost 2 in regulation.
and
So
they have the most goals for in the entire league. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure sitting at 64.
yep, they might
Plus
be.
15 differential, which is pretty
I
good.
was gonna say they might be the only team in the 60s, but Nashville is at 60, so
Yeah,
they're definitely the only
that's
one
cool.
past 60 goals for.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting pretty right now. It's a very dangerous team. In second, you got the Islanders, who have won 10 in a row.
Impressive.
Yeah, they're when you're talking about those tears, they started 1-3-0 and are now
Mhm.
sitting at 11-3-0. I mean,
Yep.
what a tremendous win streak it's been for them, and they're still not in first.
Yeah.
Uh,
But they have that goalie tandem is clicking.
oh yeah,
And they're also another thing to note is they're 2 games less played than Washington.
yep,
So
also very true.
yeah, so
Although
they could
if
be
they
in
won those
first.
two, they would still. Oh no,
Yeah,
they'd be in first by 1 point if they win those
yeah,
two.
yeah. So they that goalie tandem, Grice and now Varlamov stepping in, and I think
Yep,
it's Barry Trotz. It's system.
it's absolutely Barry Trotz.
It's the system. It's
Yeah,
the defensive system. It's winning puck battles. You're not going to outgrind the Islanders. There's
yeah,
very few teams that are going to outgrind the Islanders.
and they've got a tremendous bottom six to do that too.
Yeah.
Like their bottom six isn't going to be lighting up a score sheet, but
Hmm.
they are going to win those battles. They're going to be down dirty. They're going to be doing a lot of the little things that other teams likely aren't.
Yeah.
And again, very dangerous team. 10-game win streak. That's nuts.
Yeah. Another thing to note is they've also played 9 games at home though. Out of
Yeah.
their 14, 9 of them have been at home. So that get them on the road. Maybe it changes their game up, but I honestly don't see that having too big of an effect.
Yeah.
Maybe a game or two here and there, but the Islanders definitely one to watch out for, and I hope they still come in last place. So
And then in third, you got Carolina.
a little bit of a drop off.
A little bit of a drop off. Yeah, they've lost their last two. They're sitting at 9-5-1 with 19 points, and they're still, still positive in the goal differential. Still putting up a ton of shots on goal.
Hmm.
Their home record is great, 6-2. That's definitely what you want to see. The road record of 3-3-1. It could be better, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's about right where you want it to be. You want to be around 500 on the road. You don't want to be sub 500.
Yes.
But 4-5-1 in their last 10. That's not the greatest if you want
Slipping
to.
a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to keep pace with teams like the Islanders and Washington, you got to do better than 4-5-1 over a 10-game stretch.
That's for sure. They lost 2 in a row, and I think they're just growing pains. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I know they lost Howla for a couple games. Dude, Svechnikov has been insane.
Oh, he's been lights out.
Oh my goodness.
Why couldn't he
So
have been playing this well when I predicted him last year to win the Calder?
I predicted him last year to win it too, but goddamn Pedersen, however you want to say it, he's a animal. But yeah, Carolina is slowly slipping, but I see them hanging in there, in that kind of area,
Yeah.
third or wild card somewhere in there.
Yeah, I still see them ending up third-ish. I don't know if Pittsburgh or Philly is going to be able to contend them for that, but it's still early. You never know. Over to the Atlantic now. We finally noticed a change, and the Boston Bruins are sitting first place. And boy,
Rightfully freaking so. That's a scary team.
just
right
like
now.
I mentioned in the last podcast we did, you're not going to find a more consistent team than Boston at the moment.
Yeah.
They're doing everything right every single night, and God,
They
they're hard
have
to
the
keep
best-
up with.
The best top line in the league.
Absolutely.
Hands down. There's no debate about it right now. Currently, Pasternak is on an insane pace. Here's hoping he can stay healthy and keep putting up the points.
Yeah. We'll get into them when we're talking about the stats more in
Yeah.
depth, but
Yeah.
man,
But they're undefeated in regulation at home too. That helps.
Yep.
You're 7-0-1 at home. They lost last night in Montreal, I believe. But other than that, they've been battling back. They've been, if they're not completely dominating a game, they are coming back
yep.
like that. They're just always in it. They find a way to win. So
And they've got
plus 20 goal differential.
Yep, I was about to
My
say
God.
that's the best in the league right now. Plus 20. Like,
Pretty damn good.
and it's insane. Hard to believe that they have 56 goals, 15 of them are Pasternak.
Wow.
Yeah. Talk about a breakthrough. I mean, he was already towards the top anyway, but this year, man, he's just exploded.
Yeah, and he's like 23.
Yeah.
He's sneakily young. Like I always feel like, oh yeah, he's been there a while. He's probably like, 28, 28. He's 23
Yep.
and he makes like 6 something million a year. It's the best contract in the league. They're
Yeah.
one of. other than McKinnon, obviously.
Yeah. And then in second place, you've got Buffalo starting to come back down to earth a little bit. They've lost
Slipping.
their last two, sitting at 9-4-2, 20 points overall. Still a very solid season so far for Buffalo.
Yeah,
+5 still in the goal differential. Pretty,
that's worrying though.
yeah,
Being only +5 in goal differential, but being 5-1-1 at home, like I feel like their goaltending was what was keeping them
yeah,
up in first place between Carter Hutton and Olmark, and that's what seemed to happen last year too
yeah.
when they went on their 10-game win streak, and everyone was praising Buffalo up there. They're going to the playoffs finally, and then they fell off a cliff. So here's hoping their goaltending can stay consistent and not give up too many goals because +5, I don't know. It just seems like they should be higher with the way they were winning games.
Yeah, you would
on in the
think.
season.
But the 4-3-1 away record, still not terrible, but you can see that they're definitely an easier team to play on the road.
Yeah, but they went out west too.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a little different.
That road trip is rough, man.
Yeah.
We just had that ourselves, and that was a
Yeah.
brutal road trip.
Not looking forward to the Rangers' West Coast trip this year.
Yeah. And in third place, you got Toronto. By the sheer fact that they've played almost more games than anybody at this point.
Yeah, they're up there with Washington at 16.
8-5-3, 19 points. The 4-2-3 home record is kind of worrying because when you think about it, they've only won half their games at home. If you look at it that way.
Mine says 5-2-3.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah,
it's an
still,
OT loss, but you lost.
Those overtime losses.
So you only lost 5. I mean, well, you only won 5 of your 10 total at home.
You're not getting loser points on the road. 3-3-0.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done over the season long stretch.
And the only reason they're there is because they won their last two. So,
Yep.
yeah, interesting to see how Toronto goes moving forward. Are there any injuries up there? Or
Tavares still.
Matthews? Tavares. Okay,
Tavares
so
is still hurt.
That's pretty key when your captain's out.
Yeah.
So they need to, but they do need to hold. Got to hold steady even with a significant injury. I mean,
Yeah.
Penguins not to that big of an extent, but without Malkin, they're still. In St. Louis without Tarasenko, they're still clicking. So you got to be able to win those games even without.
Yep. And then a quick look at the Eastern wild card. Florida sitting in the number 1 spot.
Boys.
Montreal tied with them. Only reason Florida's in first because they played one less game. Both sitting at 18 points. Florida at 7-3-4, and Montreal at 8-5-2. Still 1 point ahead of Pittsburgh for each wild card spot.
Yep, and just to note, the Flyers are kind of coming on now.
Yep.
Now that they played a few home games, they started this season overseas.
Yep.
Which can always be like okay, and then getting your groove when you get back to the States. But they're 5-1-1 at home, so
Yeah.
look to the Flyers to kind of rise in the ranks. I feel like that, and like Couturier didn't have a goal in the first 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
Rare for a player of his caliber. Same with Giroux, but they're actually starting to click now. So
Yeah. So we're gonna head over to the West. Now looking at the Central Division, St. Louis sitting in first.
very different than last year.
And sitting at 10-3-3 with 23 points.
Yes. I want to make a note. We didn't mention Tampa Bay at all.
Did not.
Standing.
Nope.
That is pretty significant.
Yep.
Especially after last year's historic thing. But
They're currently 6th in the Atlantic at the moment, and they're
the -3 goal differential.
That's 4 points behind. Granted, they played 13 games, but
true.
They're still 4 points out of a wild card spot and either being 4th or 5th in the division.
Yeah. So the only team that's played fewer games than them are my Rangers, who are playing their 13th game tonight, and they are. I think they won. They won 4-1, I believe. If they may have gotten
5-1. 5-1.
5-1. Let's go.
Yep. Got to pad those goal differential stats.
Fuck yeah! When you're the Rangers and you lose the Senators 6-2 or whatever the hell it was, yeah, you gotta pad those stats for sure. And it was Panarin with a goal.
Nice.
So his 7th year. Let's fucking go, boys! All right, back to what we were talking about.
St. Louis, first overall. Well, not first overall, because they are first in the West. I should say, overall. But still only a +2 goal differential. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that
Either
exactly.
winning close games. They were the type of team that did play a lot of close games last year. They would
Yeah,
find a way to win. They had the grit to be able to get through it. So it could be a case of that. I don't see any of their games them losing like 5-1, or them
yeah.
winning 5-1 for that matter. So
But they've won 5 straight, so definitely
let's
doing
go.
something right.
And they're winning right now, right? They're playing
Yeah,
Edmonton as we
yeah.
record, and
Playing
they're
Edmonton,
up
currently up
3-1.
3-1.
Let's go.
So could be on their way to winning their sixth in a row.
Petrangelo with 6 tucks. He
Boy,
has one on the power play tonight. That's pretty impressive.
nice.
He's he just got that big contract
Yeah.
extension, right? So earning his keep out there.
Second place in the Central, we've got Smashville.
Hey,
But, well, boy, it's still impressive. A 17 goal differential.
yeah, they
They,
beat the snot out of teams.
yeah, the
From what I
exact
noticed,
opposite of St. Louis. When
yes,
they win
yeah,
big. If they lose, it's close. But if they win big.
yeah,
6-2-2 in their last 10. So points in 8 out of 10. That's incredible pace.
pretty good.
Sitting at 9-4-2. So definitely a solid and important to note. They have 9 wins and 8 of them are in regulation.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's how that'll tell you that they are very tough to beat in regulation.
mm,
Very solid season so far for Nashville. And then unfortunately falling back so far, number 3, Colorado. Can't really fault them too much for losing
slam.
2/3 of their top line, and their top line center is still hurt. I feel like from taking that bump from Hornquist.
Yeah,
He's so that
rough.
pretty much already completely 2/3 gone of your top line, and then
Hmm.
McKinnon is not playing at his 100% level. So
Yeah,
it's very tough for Colorado right now. They need to get healthy. There's no doubt in my mind that when they do get healthy, they'll be right back to the winning
yeah.
ways that we see from them.
Very few teams
Um,
can keep up with Colorado when Ronton and Landeskog and McKinnon are all there and clicking. There's other than Boston's top line, I don't think there's another one like
yeah,
that. So
it's unreal to watch all of them. But they lost their last 3, 5-2 overall in their last 10.
big ouch.
So yeah, only winning 3 out of your last 10 games. That's not gonna get it done over the course of
Hang
the
in there
year.
though, Avs fans. I still see Colorado doing extremely well this year.
Yeah, they just got to get healthy. That's all.
Hmm.
And then moving over to the Pacific, Edmonton still clinging on to that top spot.
Yeah,
They're not going to get points tonight unless they come back in substantial fashion against St. Louis, who usually don't give up leads very
yeah.
often.
But it is possible when you have Connor McDavid and
Yeah,
Leon Draisaitl.
of course. Sitting at 10-4-2, they lost their last game in OT, sitting with 22 points. 1 point ahead of the second place in the Pacific, Vancouver, having a
Surprise!
very solid season so far at 9-3-3 with 21 points, a +18 goal differential for the Canucks.
Yeah, attribute that to Jonathan Quick giving up 8 in that one game.
and then
8-2 there, yeah.
Montembeault and Bobrovsky combined giving up 7. Oh
Yes.
man, that was a tough one to watch. But 6-1-3 in their last 10. They're getting it done nightly. They've been very consistent, and very solid season so far for Vancouver. I'm excited to see
Yes.
where it goes from here with them. And then sitting in the number 3 spot, the Yotes,
Yotes.
Arizona.
That's my boys right there. That's my West Coast team.
And I'm jumping on there too, man. I want to see Arizona succeed. And sitting at 9-4-2 with 20 points, a +10 goal differential, 7-2-1 in their last 10.
Only
And
giving up 34 goals.
And I believe Antiranta leads in save percentage at the moment.
It's him or Kemper. Darcy
Uh,
Kemper's an animal.
yeah, it is
And
Darcy Kemper.
Ronta's played a few games, but they're both very good.
I misspoke. It is Kemper, but we'll get into that with the stats and everything. But Kemper has been playing out of his mind.
That is for sure.
And
He's
then
the most underrated goalie in the league,
yeah,
in my opinion.
And then just a quick look at the Pacific wild card. Vegas and Calgary both tied at 20.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas currently occupying the number 1 spot because they played 2 less games than Calgary.
Yeah.
Looked for the Golden Knights to continue to win. I believe that they're still going to end up in the top 3 in the Pacific by the end of it. So I could see Vancouver or Arizona falling back. Hell, I could see all 3 of them falling back. Edmonton, Vancouver, and Arizona.
I see Edmonton falling out. Calgary is, if you've like watched or even the highlights or listened, Calgary, Matthew Tkachuk is a goddamn animal.
I hate him, but you
if
got to
I
respect his play. But
if I had to
great
build
to
a
hate.
team, I would pick Matthew Tkachuk up there in like my top 10. It's insane. He had 2 goals last night. He put one home in overtime to win it. He had a between the legs goal in the final seconds.
Yep, that goal was nuts.
The confidence.
In OT.
The swag, the aggression, just everything about him is hockey. And he epitomizes hockey to me. And I love Matthew Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk the same way. Of course, when your dad's Big Walt, you're gonna have that swag to you. You grew up watching your dad basically be an animal his entire career. So
yep.
But Calgary, watch out for them. They've come back significantly a couple times in the last few games, and they're looking like one of those destiny teams. You know what I'm saying? Like they just find a way, and it's always extravagant.
Yep.
So whenever there's a Calgary game on, while I'm at work, I put it on the radio. I have to listen.
That's fair.
To the Calgary games. So they've taken over like my top. Like I will override any other game to listen to a Calgary game. So exciting.
And then just a quick note I want to mention, heading back into the Central. I just wanted to mention the turnaround in Dallas.
Yes.
Winners of their last 4 now, back at 8-1 with 17 points. They're currently only 1 point behind Colorado for the 3rd spot.
That's crazy.
So with that horrid start by the Stars, they've been
abysmal. They were like 1-7 and whatever.
Yep. And man, always got to attend to the fur babies.
Yeah, oh God. Who knows what kind of animals are out there for them to play with. Just run out.
But yeah, just wanted to mention them because Dallas has been having an unbelievable turnaround.
Yes, Radulov has been crazy. Rope Hintz is still quite possibly the most slept on forward in the league. And yeah, Dallas, watch out. I have them in the finals.
So there are your standings review for, I guess it's now the first month of the season is over.
Yeah.
And
I also want to mention San Jose is a suckhole. And they are only 1 point ahead of the Kings.
Yep.
They're 5-10-1.
That's brutal. With a -18 goal differential.
Really bad. And if they don't do something significant, and I think it's got to be goaltending. I think they have to.
Yeah. Marty Jones just cannot get it done anymore.
But what are they going to do? Who do you see San Jose trading for? How do you see them patching this goaltending issue?
I don't know.
It's not just Marty Jones. Aaron Dell is bad too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jimmy Howard if they can take him from Detroit.
Detroit's not doing too well either. That's a possibility. They're 4-12-1. Maybe they will look to mix things up.
I don't think you can get Anderson out of Ottawa because he just seems like he doesn't want to leave.
Why would he? He's an aging goaltender too. And if you're San Jose, you want to get a guy that's going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, but who else could? Corey Schneider, you're not going to want because he's just not the same anymore.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe Hank.
I was going to say, this is far-fetched, and I know a lot of people, but I could honestly see. Well, that would be a cap issue for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless the Rangers retain some of his salary. Everybody, Hank said he doesn't want to leave New York. He wants to win a cup in New York.
Yeah.
But I got some insider information. I was at a Q&A. I met Henrik Lundqvist. Not a big deal. He was awesome. His suit was amazing. His hair was amazing. We weren't allowed to shake his hand, though, because he had a finger injury. But when I walked up and I met him, he puts his arm around me and accidentally touched my butt. So I made it to second base with Henrik Lundqvist.
Very nice.
But hell of a good guy, hell of a nice guy. But during the Q&A, someone asked him like, "How bad do you want to win a Stanley Cup?" And
Mm-hmm.
like they were going to follow it up with, "Oh, well, you're going to do it in New York, blah blah blah."
Yep.
And the look on his face, and he goes, "I want it more than anything in the world." You could tell he meant it.
Yeah.
Like he wants to win a Stanley Cup more than anything, and anything includes staying in New York his entire career. To me, that's the impression I got.
Mm-hmm.
But because he's done it all, he's done everything else, right?
Yep.
He's won a Vezina, he's won a gold medal,
Multiple
he's
All-Star games.
multiple All Star games. That's it. That's what's left.
Yep.
And with a career like his, I feel like he has to at least try to get back there again. And with the team that the Rangers have now, it's not going to be them.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the time that he has left in the league. So San Jose, the way they look now, I don't know if he would want to be traded there. He has full move protection. He doesn't have
Yep.
to go anywhere he doesn't want to. So that's another issue.
Mm-hmm.
You
He would
know,
have to waive that for sure.
and they would have to turn it around at least a little bit to get his interest.
And the only other goalie I can think of, at least off the top of my head, is Dubnik in Minnesota.
That would be pretty damn solid if they could manage it.
Same issue. Minnesota would have to retain salary. San Jose would have to give something to Minnesota to balance out the salaries there. But I could also see a goaltender like Dubnik, if he wanted out of Minnesota, to head over to San Jose. That might be a significant pickup there.
It's just rough because you think there's enough, starting goaltenders to go around, but then you think about,
Yep.
You think about the big picture and you look at the tandems throughout the league, and you're kind of like, where could they even draw from at this point that would give them a chance?
So right now, the only three I could potentially see, unless they go for someone like Quick, if they can snag him from LA, which I don't know.
That would be rough. Yeah, that'd be tough. And he makes a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Too, right. Yeah.
So it'd probably be Dubnik, Hank, or Jimmy Howard in Detroit.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But man, they've got to do something.
For now, they are not doing very well.
Yeah.
Not for the team they have. They should be doing much better than they have.
For the amount of money they put into that defense, they should not be sitting at a -18. Should not happen.
I personally thought the Carlson extension was a mistake the moment it happened. And let's hope it doesn't bite him too bad, because the playoffs aren't the same without the Sharks in them at this point.
Yeah.
Like, the Sharks have to be a contender. It's just the way it is.
I don't know if they've done it already, but if they haven't, they need to try to break up Burns and Carlson, get them on different lines.
I think they are, but
because if they're not, you cannot have two offensive-minded defensemen playing next to each other like that. You're just begging to be giving up breakaways and odd man rushes.
Yeah, and people kind of scoffed at it, but Justin Braun leaving there, I think that had a much bigger impact than people let on.
Yep.
He was that stay-at-home guy. He was the rock back there.
Yep.
And now I don't think they have that.
I'll tell you what, he's loving it right now to be out of San Jose for one, and then Philly ain't doing too bad. So good for him.
Figure it out, San Jose. Figure it out.
Yep. All right, moving on to some stats leaders now. We're gonna go over them real quick.
You go through. I gotta get these dogs inside.
No problem. So your number one point getter at the moment is gonna be, of course, David Pastrnak in Boston. Guy has had an unbelievable start to this year. 15 goals, 15 assists. That is just an incredible pace. And that top line of Boston, the second point getter in the league is Marchand, right behind Pastrnak, sitting with 10 goals and 18 assists. So, I mean, just an incredible pace from those two. And I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. And then right behind them are the duo in Edmonton, Draisaitl and McDavid. Just mentioning that top line of Boston are your first two spots with Pastrnak and Marchand.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. And
I'm tired of seeing those two, man.
And then right behind those two, you've got the duo in Edmonton of McDavid and Draisaitl. Well, Draisaitl currently has 3 more points than McDavid, but
I digress.
Telling.
Yeah, that's very telling, though.
Yeah.
Draisaitl's on another planet right now.
Oh
I think
yeah.
he's playing better than McDavid as of late.
Yep.
And this, mind you, is without them. They were held scoreless for almost a 3 game period there,
Yep.
where Edmonton didn't have any damn points. So
Yep.
obviously McDavid and Draisaitl couldn't either. So
And then rounding out the top five is John Carlson, still on an unbelievable pace for a defenseman.
mhm.
7 goals, 16 assists, 23 points overall. So he's been on an absolute tear himself. But God, I can't get over this pace for Pasternak at 2 points a game. That's just nuts.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if he remains healthy, he could realistically get the 120.
Yeah.
He could get up there for sure.
Absolutely. To be at 30 after a month,
Yes.
that's
Another thing to
absurd.
note, though, his shot percentage is at 28.8.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely coming down.
Is that sustainable?
It is not. We've
And their
seen.
power play is just insane. 13 of his points are on the power play.
Yeah.
Almost half of them have come on the power play.
And the majority of his goals are on the power play as well.
Yes,
9 out of 15.
Yeah. So if they
Expect teams.
from a power play.
Yeah, expect teams to, one, not give Boston power plays, and two, cheat on Pasternak a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So as if you can limit his shot in the power play, you've got a good shot.
Yeah. Then you got a ton of people tied around 18 there, and
Yeah.
Elias Pettersson being up there at number 6.
Yep.
There in Vancouver, just quietly.
Very impressive.
Awesome.
Just one thing I want to note, just to be a little homer, but Barkov, first of all, scoring a goal in each of his last 2, so he's finally scoring again.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still top 15 in points because he's got 2 goals but 15 assists,
Wow.
sitting at 17 points.
Dishing 'em.
So even though he's not getting the goal production like he did at the beginning of last year, he's still over a point a game. And same with Huberdeau, both over a point a game. So that top line of Florida, I'll tell you, it's another one to look out for.
They got to come alive.
Yep.
They have one of the best top 6s in the league.
Yep. We got to get healthy though. Trocheck's still hurt. We currently have Brian Boyle playing second line center.
And he's filling in pretty well, though.
Yeah, I've
He
been
playing pretty well?
yeah I've been pleasantly surprised by him.
I've always been a fan of Boiler. Biggest thing for me is he's such a big dude. He doesn't play like a big dude at times.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't necessarily go out there. He's not a Luch. He's no
Yeah.
Luch. He's not out there throwing his weight around or, throwing his helmet into the crowd or whatever Lucic does.
But man, I'll tell you, we were sitting like the 12th row, I think, in the lower bowl, and
So you paid about $5?
yeah,
How many cans of chicken noodle soup did you have to trade in for those? Florida,
I don't want to talk about it. But man, when Boyle took the ice and was like screening in front of the, I think it was, who was it in net? It wasn't Howard. It was God, who's their backup? Bernier.
Bernier. Yeah.
Bernier was in that. Man, when you would see Boyle in front screening Bernier, it was a
That's all you saw.
mountain of a man.
Yeah.
It's absurd. He's 6'6"
Really big guy.
before he puts on skates. Like that's terrifying.
Yeah. So at least he's playing well, though. All the shit he's been through, I'm glad that he's not only still in the league, but he's playing those top line minutes. He deserves it. He plays his ass off.
Absolutely. So that runs out your top 10, at least top 15, if you want to get into of points. Pasternak, again, unbelievable pace for him. And we'll move over to some goalie stats now. And currently leading in save percentage, mentioned him earlier, Darcy Kemper.
What an insane save percentage for this league.
Over 10 games played. Well, not over, but 10 games played.
Yeah.
And sitting at a 940. That is
impressive.
Another thing you gotta wonder is that's sustainable.
And the best part about this is name 3 Arizona Coyotes defensemen.
Demers, Ekman Larson, and that's about it.
Yeah. It's sneaky down there.
Yeah,
you don't really think of them as
tip it, sip it. Say that 3 times fast. Tip it system.
Tocchet.
Tocchet is
Tippett's up
Tocchet.
in Edmonton.
Is it now?
Tippett
Okay.
used to be down in Arizona. It's
Okay.
Rick Tocchet.
That's
He's
right.
solid. Also, they have Goligoski on the back end there. They
I
have
did
a pretty
forget about
solid
Goligoski.
decor, but they're just kind of and Jarmelson, but I think he's out with injury.
I think
But
so, yeah.
but yes, to have that type of defense and your goaltending is that good, and it's not just Kemper either. Like you said, Ranta's playing extremely well as
Yep.
well. He got the loss last night, but through listening to the game, he did extremely well
Yep.
against Calgary. But go Yotes.
And how about sitting in second place? Granted, it's 5 games played, but Thatcher Demko,
Thatcher Demko.
as you always like to mention, as like a contractor company.
Fix him up. Leaky toilet. All Thatcher Demko. Need a trailer. Thatcher Demko.
So good.
Hell of a kid.
I'll tell you what's incredible in at least what sticks out to me in the top 10 of goaltenders at the moment is with the start that Winnipeg has had, for Connor Hellebuck to be sitting at a 930.
He's back to his Hellebuck ways.
Yeah. I mean, he's 6-5 and 1 loss in OT.
But still.
But to have a 930 and still have 5 losses, I would be killing my forwards in front of me.
It's true.
Y'all need to score.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
impressive, super impressive. And then your goals against aren't going to really change all that much with the top 10. Kemper's still in first at a 169.
Yeah.
Demko still second, sitting with a 178. But of course, you can't mention save percentage and goals against without including Tuukka Rask.
Yeah.
Guy's an absolute machine.
Always going to be up there.
Yeah.
I think career-wise, I think he's in first place.
Wouldn't surprise
throughout
me.
His career, I think he's up there. He's definitely 1 or 2. So.
It's absurd, the career that he's been able to put together.
Mm-hmm.
But
traded for Andrew Raycroft, straight up. Saying.
Oh boy.
One goalie I want to mention though, David Riddick has
Yep.
kind of surpassed expectations up there in Calgary as well.
I think so, yeah.
To go from being the backup to Mike Smith last year, to not even he didn't even play a single game in the playoffs, right?
I don't believe so.
When they got beat by Colorado.
Yeah.
But the kid looks good. He almost single-handedly he kept them in that game last night against the Coyotes. There were a few like incredible saves that kept them in it, and they ended up going into overtime and winning it. So look out for David Riddick. He's very, very good. He's a gamer. He never gives up on a play. Kind of Tim Thomas-ish.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And he's got kind of a mean streak to him.
Yep.
That could lead into a subject of Mr. Lucic.
Oh no.
If we were going to touch on that, Mr. Lucic getting that first actual physical suspension for something he did on ice of the year, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Just one thing I wanted to mention quick about the goaltenders. It's Colorado's backup. I always refer to him as Pavel Francouz. I got the correct pronunciation on that finally.
And what is it?
Pavel Francouz is how you say it. Yeah.
Nah. Francouz.
Yep. It sounds better Francouz, but Francouz is the proper pronunciation of his name.
That's just being cocky at that point. No, my name is Francouz. No, it's not.
You're Francouz.
If your name is
now.
Francouz, you should own a restaurant in like New York or something. You're Francouz. Damn it.
But yeah, going back to Lucic, Cole Sherwood actually stripped him at the blue line. Lucic was trying to carry out, and Sherwood picked his pocket. Probably led a bit to his frustration at that point.
Oh, hell yeah.
But Sherwood put the puck on net. Riddick made the stop, tried to cover up, and wasn't covered up completely, so the whistle wasn't blown. So Sherwood was doing what any forward would do, and went into he went in to poke at the glove, tried to knock it loose, get the puck in the back, and Lucic did not appreciate it. So Sherwood had skated behind the net. Lucic went right up to him, grabbed him in one hand, and kept the glove on, closed fist, and just suckered him right in the face. Dropped him instantly.
That's hockey, baby.
And so obviously you're going to have conflicting sides to any suspension like this. I'm on the side that it's a valid suspension. 2 games is more than fair, given the context, given it's Lucic, given he's got history, given they're trying really hard to eliminate this aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, 2 games is more than fair. I would have been all right with one, but there needed to be a suspension of some sorts for a play
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. For me, I'm this isn't just me playing devil's advocate either, but I don't see why they should suspend him for it. I think you slash at a goalie's glove, like you said, he's doing what he's supposed to do, playing to the whistle. Well, Lucic is doing what he's supposed to do, defend your goalie. You shouldn't be hacking away at a goalie's glove when it's covered.
I think it was Jeff O'Neill I was listening to.
Yeah.
Either TSN or Sportsnet. I always get them confused because obviously I'm as far away from Canada as possible. But they were doing a talk show that they were usually doing, and Jeff O'Neill was talking with Ray Ferraro.
Chicken parm.
Yep. And he's like, "Look, Ray, you played with me. You in our era, that was a 2 minutes for roughing, and that was the most you got, if you got it at all." And as much as
definitely a penalty, definitely a 4-minute double minor for roughing.
As some people want that part of the game back, it's just not going to happen anymore.
No,
the league's not going to tolerate it. The player safety is absolutely not going to tolerate it anymore.
Yeah, but at the same time, they shouldn't be tolerating guys slashing away at goalies' hands either.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to call anything on him for that, someone's got to take it into his own hands. You can't just let a guy slash your goalie.
He did, though. He received a slashing minor for slashing.
Yeah, so
Riddick.
2 minutes for slashing the goalie.
Yeah.
But Lucic's job is to send that message, don't touch my fucking goalie.
Yeah, and granted,
can't
back in the day, that would have been fine, but now, I forget who else it was on that talk show that was talking about it, and he brought up a great perspective. It was, you get in their face, you give them a little how do you do, you give them a face wash, you do all that, and then you aggravate them, and then you get them to be like, if you want to go with my goalie, we can drop him right now. But
yeah,
in today's game, you just don't sucker anybody at this point.
He's not going to drop it with Luch.
No.
Obviously. And he didn't have to answer to it. He wouldn't have had to answer to it, which means he'd probably do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with having to police the game from afar, but at the same time, the players have to be able to hold other players accountable as well.
Yeah.
Because you look at Lucic, he's not going to play mental chess with you.
Yeah.
That's not his thing. He will play physical chess with you. He will knock you the fuck out. That's his job. Like, that's what he was hired to do.
Yeah.
Was to intimidate, to be the aggressor, to be, that's his role. So I just don't think him doing his job should be suspended worthy. I just didn't see it as a suspension in my eyes.
I could see that side of it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But again, today's game, the way that the game is played, the way that they hold these guys accountable for, the type of just injuries you can invoke for something like that. Because, God forbid Sherwood had taken that clock in the jaw and then had just fallen back and slammed his head on the ice and knocked him out.
We don't want another Bertuzzi situation.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So,
as far as going over the line. But I'm going to say, if you look at Lucic's history, he is not one to actually injure people.
Yeah.
And that might just be luck on his end. Remember when he trucked Ryan Miller?
Yep.
And Miller, I think Miller missed a game or two or something like that. But in terms of Lucic, like his physical altercations, his fights and stuff like that, and yeah, he's a hothead. He almost ripped what's his name's arm off in the playoff handshake line. I'm gonna fucking kill you next year, he says. So he's a hothead. He plays with a lot of emotion, and yes, he needs to dial it back.
Yeah.
But I just see him doing his job as he knows how to do it. The 4-minute double minor would have been enough for me. Suspending him for 2 games just seems a little excessive, especially
if it was 5 in a game. I would have been okay with it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I forget at what point in the game it was.
Yeah.
If I can pull it up, 5 minutes into the second. So if it was 5 in a game, I probably would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think a double minor would have been quite enough for what he actually did. Maybe
Yeah.
10 years ago it would have been, but now,
He did drop the gloves, hammer him too hard.
yeah,
Back to the point of, he could have injured him. Yeah, the guy could have injured David Riddick by slashing him as well.
could have. Yeah,
So it's like, it's that accountability factor.
yeah,
Like the guy did something he shouldn't have done, and he's gonna get a 2 minute penalty. But I think the message of, hey, you're not gonna fucking do that again, far outweighs just letting him sit in the box for 2 minutes.
that's fair.
I just think that I don't want to say the goon policing needs to exist, but you do need to be held accountable physically when you are inflicting physical actions on other people as well.
Yeah,
You
I
know
can
what I'm
see
saying?
that. Yeah,
And people kind of overshadow the fact that Luch clocked him for the fact that he slashed the goalie well beyond when he should have.
yeah,
So either way, you're always going to have differing opinions. I mean, I grew up in the era
yeah.
of hogging, not quite like the 70s where you could
Oh,
literally
God.
hog tie a guy. It looked like you could do whatever the hell you wanted out there.
Yeah,
But geez, I got to see the hook and hold era. I got to see the obstruction era. I got to see how they tried to fix the whole thing. I
yeah,
got to see some of the greatest fighters of all time.
yeah,
So I like a little bit of aggression mixed in with my hockey. I love the passion.
of
I
course.
love the fact that the guys are on. It's kind of a code of respect.
Yeah,
And if you don't have that guy out there that commands respect, like the alpha,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we don't want to fuck with that guy, or I'm not touching the goalie while he's around. You're gonna see a lot of like little weasels and rats get away with shit,
yeah,
and the cost of injury could be even higher. You never know. So
definitely.
that's just my opinion on it. But there's no true way to fix it the way the game is played.
Yeah,
In my opinion. You just gotta kind of take it as it goes, and the fact that this is the first suspension for a play on the ice of the entire season, very impressive, and you can tell they're heading in the right direction. So
Mhm.
kudos to that. Good job on the league for cutting it down that much.
Yeah. And just one other news note I wanted to mention. I don't know if you heard about Evander Kane being sued by a Vegas casino.
He is always in some fucking trouble.
Ain't he? He's being sued for failing to pay back $500,000 in gambling markers that were given to him in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well
it was at,
Mr. Kane.
Yeah. It was the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. Yeah.
What do you
Like you last year you ink a 7-year $49 million deal, and you're gonna fail to give back $500,000 of markers that have no value, mind you, really. Like,
Yeah.
all they do is they allow you to more, not effectively, like, it allows you to easily go to a casino and be like, I want a certain amount of money higher than they would normally provide to an average player.
Yeah.
And so they don't have any real monetary value. I mean, they could if, he had sold them to other people or something.
Yeah.
But
walked away from it.
yeah, but like, what stopped you from returning them if you weren't going to use them? It's just it's stupid. So I don't know exactly how much they're going to be suing him for, but Evander Kane is currently being sued by
Always in
a
trouble,
casino
man.
in Vegas. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't know the guy personally, but out of all the issues that we've seen throughout his career, I mean, a player of his caliber, like his talent level,
yeah.
to get bumped around as much as he has. I mean, he's played for what, 3 teams?
Yep.
Winnipeg, Buffalo, and now San Jose.
Yep. Well, 4 if you count the Thrashers.
Oh, yeah. Say franchise. Yeah, say franchise.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know, man. So some people just, and maybe he'll grow out of it,
Yep.
but he just seems to always be in trouble, which is just poor guy.
And that makes you think, like, he's been around since the Thrashers era. Like, he's been
Yeah, he
around
is.
for a hot minute.
He should know how to act
Yeah, exactly.
as a professional. You should know how to act as a professional. And I mean, some people just don't have that
Yeah.
in them. They don't have that professional aspect to them, or they don't know how to act in public, or I don't know what the fuck it is.
So,
but
yeah. As if San Jose needed any further distraction, having arguably your best forward currently in a lawsuit with a casino is definitely not what they need right now. But yeah, that's just a couple news topics we wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the weekend ahead, and arguably into next week, depending on what games we decided to look at. But
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to some games ahead that we wanted to mention. For me, I wanted to touch upon the Sweden series. You've got
Sweden.
Tampa Bay and Buffalo in Sweden. They're currently in Stockholm.
Yeah.
That first game of that back to back is going to be on Friday night. I say night, but it's 2 in the afternoon because again over in
Yeah.
Europe they're like what
2 in the
five,
afternoon,
five six
Eastern.
hours ahead. So
Yeah.
yeah, 2 o'clock Eastern. If you're going to be up for those games, I suggest watching them because that's going to be a great matchup. A chance for Tampa to get some more momentum under them because we know Buffalo's been slipping recently.
Yeah. Biggest shame of that, with Hedman being out,
Yeah.
him missing that Sweden series, like that's
Oh
gotta
yeah.
hurt for
That's.
him.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Um, I mean, Darlene will be playing in it, which will give the fans like something to
Yeah.
be super excited about. But with Hedman, and you could tell that team is struggling
Yeah.
with Hedman.
That was the best last year when the Panthers and Winnipeg were in Finland, and it was Barkov and Line,
Mm-hmm.
two of the best Finnish forwards in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
And that was a cool experience to watch those games and see all the fans supporting not just the teams but especially those two players.
Yeah.
So that was a great time. But so I highly recommend tuning in if you're going to be awake, if you're going to be watching any kind of hockey that day. It'll be on NBCSN, so it'll be nationally televised.
Mm-hmm.
First game of the back-to-back series, and then the following day, instead of 2, it'll be at 1, and that one will be on the NHL Network for the Sweden series. So definitely a solid 2 games to watch this weekend. But I included them into one because I couldn't leave out. Also on Saturday night, you've got Vegas and Washington, a rematch of the 2018 Stanley Cup
Nice.
Finals,
Yeah.
7 p.m. Eastern. Going to be a great matchup for sure. These two
Agreed.
teams probably still don't like each other. A lot of tension between these two teams. They always put out tremendous games when they play each other, and both teams have been solid so far. Washington been storming out of the gates. Vegas has been meandering a bit, but they've
Mm-hmm.
started to pick it up recently. Definitely going to be a solid game. That's Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune in if you're able to, because that'll be a good one.
Watch it. Watch it. All right,
Yeah,
I have a couple games
let's see
that I
them.
want you to watch.
Let's hear them.
Um, Going with the Vegas Golden Knights train there. Vegas plays Toronto tomorrow, Thursday,
Great
or
game.
almost today, technically, since we are
Yep.
the overnight bag skate here. Um, that's just going to be a pretty interesting matchup
Yep.
between those two kind of high-powered offenses. Both defenses are kind of a little struggling. We'll see how the goaltending plays out. I personally see Vegas winning that game, but that's tomorrow, Vegas Toronto,
Great
and then
game.
I'm going all the way until next Tuesday for the
Yep.
second game because we probably won't record again until after that. Maybe
Yep.
next Wednesday we'll record. I'm going with the Predators and the Canucks
Solid matchup.
later in the night.
It'll be the sleeper game. So if y'all are like us and you're awake at night, that's your most productive time. It'll be
Yes,
start at 10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern, and two teams going at it that have been scoring a lot of goals lately, high-powered offense, and we'll see how it plays out. That's kind of one of those underrated games where you look at it at a glance and you're like, but then you think about it and you're like, holy shit, they're about Preds are 9-4-2, Canucks are 9-3-3.
Yep.
Okay, this is a pretty significant matchup, and they don't see each other very often
Right.
throughout the season. So that's in Vancouver. I'll be listening to that game at work. Faux show.
I will be home and I'll probably end up trying to watch it at some point.
Do it.
Yep.
Do it.
But I believe that's all we're going to have at this time.
Sweet.
Until next week. Again, we typically record going to be Wednesday nights. Once my schedule shifts over, we'll have to find another day because I'll end up working Wednesday nights. But that's not until like the week of Christmas. So
Yeah.
we still got a few more weeks before we got to worry about that.
Yeah. We'll figure it all out. We both work overnights, and we both have some pretty crazy shifting hours and such. So
Yep.
Bear with us. Holidays are upon us.
Oh boy,
Lest it be.
it's not as bad for me since I'm finally out of retail, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
get
for
the
you
unload
it's
trucks.
pretty busy at times for you.
Hey, we'll take the overtime when we can get it.
Yeah,
And I luckily I get to listen to hockey games while I work, so I can't complain.
yeah.
But enjoy the hockey out there, folks. Hell of
Yeah.
a season so far.
Oh yeah, it's been a tremendous season. A lot of surprises, especially out west. Um, I'm looking forward to the rest of the winter time heading into the All Star break.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing about a month or two from now where teams are shaping up, um,
Mm-hmm.
where you expect certain teams to finish up. Um, and it's looking to be a good one. If the season ended today, there would be some incredible matchups in the
Yeah.
postseason, and
Maybe
ones
we'll
that
maybe
ones that you're not used to seeing at all.
yeah, maybe we'll do that next week. We'll
Yeah,
do what the playoff matchups would be and who we think would win next
watch
week.
by next week. It's all like the
Yeah.
traditional shit.
Yeah, it's back to normal. Yo, Boston and Toronto in round one. That kind of shit. I want to make a plug real quick.
Yep, do it.
Um, those who don't know, I stream over at twitch.tv/GhettoThunder. That's me, Ghetto Thunder. But I actually picked this game up today, and I do commentary
Beauty.
over the NHL series. I have the computers play against each other, and then I just do the commentary for the game, and we do
It's
a
a
little bit of
fantastic
tournament.
time.
I enjoy the shit out of it,
It's
and
so much fun.
I finally picked this up today in a buy two get one sale, so I technically got it for free. So I'm
If
pretty
you
excited.
if you thought NHL and EA's AI were bad when you were playing, you have seen nothing until you've seen the AI play against another AI.
Some of them they actually play out like a real hockey game, but there are other moments where it's just out of this world.
It's
And there's a
great.
lot of exciting times during it.
It's a great time.
We do tournaments where viewers get to pick teams, and then their team progresses through the tournament. They play other viewers, and it's a good fun time. But I finally picked it up on a whim, and hopefully I'll be doing some commentary. The
Absolutely.
NHL 20 AI.
Stop by, like you said, twitch.tv/GhettoThunder. The spelling of the name is right under his face. And yeah, beauty. So
Awesome.
stop by. Not sure when exactly that's going to be, but look forward to it in the near future. Yeah, look forward to it because, man, what a fantastic time that is. And that's all I got for this week. And again, thanks everyone for watching. Just giving us a few minutes out of your day to bullshit hockey with y'all because we love doing it. And don't forget to subscribe.
We're gonna do it whether you show up or not, you jerks.
Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to like it and share with people who you feel are just like us, love bullshitting hockey, love talking hockey. And if you've got any comments, we'd love to hear them. Any suggestions from y'all you want to hear us talk about, the comments are always open. Go ahead and drop it for us. And
Praise Lucic.
Praise Luch. That's all we got for y'all this week. Tuning in probably sometime next Wednesday, Thursday morning. We'll probably have the video up. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Enjoy.
Take care, y'all.
Peace.